If you're watching this video, you probably want to fit your own radiator. So let's not mess around. Can a DIY do it? Well, I've just done it. Let me show you how. Firstly, I'm fitting this tall panel radiator, but the process is pretty similar for any radiator, with only the wall mounting being particularly different. I currently have this radiator and I'll be fitting the new one further along the wall next to the window. Obviously, I'm right in the middle of a full renovation here, so excuse the mess. The first thing I'm actually doing is painting the area of the wall that I'm fitting the radiator to. So when I do the full decorating in this room, I don't have to remove the radiator again. Step one is to install the valves. You need to wrap the threads in PTFE tape to help seal them, and then you simply just screw the tails into place. You can then attach the valves to these tails by tightening the nuts, which compress the olive inside the fitting to seal things. There's also two other fittings, the blanking plug and the bleed valve. Sometimes these come installed and sometimes they need to be screwed onto the radiator. They usually have rubber seals to prevent leaks. If they don't, again just wrap them in PTFE tape. With the valves on, you can then measure the distance between these to mark up the pipe position. I'm drilling through the floorboards and then dropping my pipes straight down from the valves. On mine, I need to measure the distance from the valves, where the pipes will be, to the holes in the brackets. So you can see my dad measuring this, and then I can drill the holes so that when the brackets are fitted, the radiator will line up with the pipe holes. There is some up and down adjustment on these brackets, so I use a spirit level to get them properly leveled. Then lift the radiator into place and mark up the position for the top brackets. With a big radiator like this, it's handy to have a second pair of hands. The top brackets are then installed using the wall plugs and coach screws provided. This vertical radiator that I'm installing was kindly provided by This Is Wholesale. Massive thank you to them for supporting my full guest bedroom renovation. We chose this specific radiator to match the others in the house that we bought when we moved in. Those ones were more expensive, but to be honest, I haven't seen any difference in quality with those and this one that I'm fitting. So if you're interested in a really good value option, I'll leave the links in the description to the various radiators that they offer. With the hanging done, it's on to the scary part, the plumbing. This is going to be different for different installations, but I'll show you mine as an example. The first thing you need to do is drain the system. Mine was already drained due to removing that old radiator, but you'll have a drain valve on one of your radiators that looks like this. Usually at the lowest point of your system. You can use this to drain all of the water from the heating system, either using buckets or attaching a piece of hose pipe and running it into a drain. I'm fitting copper pipe straight down from the valves, so I cut this to size with a pipe cutter and attach this to the valves with an adjustable spanner. I'm using the existing pipes from the old radiator, just cut shorter. So I add a 90-degree push fit fitting and then step down to 10mm pipe. I wouldn't usually use this size, but as it's there, it's what I'm using. And with this push fit stuff, you don't need to solder, so it's much easier. It was impossible to film whilst fitting these under the floor, but these fittings just push together and then screw up to secure them. They've got O-rings inside them to keep things sealed. I expected it to all be 15mm pipe, which would have removed the need for the adapter. This is the pipe on the right hand side, which goes along in 10mm, then steps up to 15. The adapter goes into a 90-degree elbow, then into copper pipe, which goes to a final elbow to turn it up and through the floor, into the copper pipe that goes into the radiator valve. Once you've got everything installed, you need to refill the system. At this point, it's a good idea to add some inhibitor additive. This basically just protects your heating system, and I'm adding this through the bleed valve at the top. So I unscrew this and then I use a funnel and a piece of pipe to pour this into the radiator. With that done, I can refill the system and pressurize it properly. To do this, you turn the fill tap that is usually found on or next to your boiler. My previous boiler had it on the boiler itself, but this one has a separate flexi hose just next to it. You want to turn it on until the pressure hits the recommended amount. Mine is 1.5 bar, so I fill it to 1.5 and then I go and bleed the radiators to remove any air from the system. To do this, you open the bleed valve until you release all of the air and some water comes out. Obviously, be careful doing this. Don't just whack it open or you'll end up with water squirting across your room. Then you need to repressurize it again and go and check for leaks on any joins. Then you're done. I'm dead happy with this upgrade, and now I just need to get the rest of this room finished. If you want to see the finished room, make sure you subscribe. Massive thanks again to This Is Wholesale for providing the radiator for this one. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.